Do you ever look at some successful businesses like maybe a big massage business or a massage franchise or just any business in general that is doing really well? And do you ever look at them and think, why is this business very successful? Why are they doing so much better than me, even if I'm in the same industry? And in today's video, I'm going to share with you one of the secrets that I have seen and I've noticed that separates people who are doing very well and businesses that struggle. That is tracking, okay? Tracking important key metrics in your business. And every massage therapist should be doing this, and we do it in our salon. And I'm going to share with you in this video the basic key things to track, because you think, why is tracking important? Well, you might have heard the quote, what gets measured gets managed, or what gets tracked gets improved. If you don't know how your business is performing and what actions you are performing and how their effect is on your business, then there's no way you can constantly improve. And you might be doing things that are a waste of time in your business. You might not understand why your business is doing well or not well. And without tracking, you won't know. The key is to focus on the things that are doing well more, look at what is lagging and what is not doing well and improve that. And these metrics, just a couple key metrics, are going to help you with that. So there are a few key parts to this. We want to look at the acquisition of customers side. That's one section. And how to do this is really simple. You just get a spreadsheet. You just get a Google spreadsheet. This is what we do. And you make different columns for all of these things we're going to track. And then on the other side, it's just different dates. Now, in our business, we track weekly. I know a lot of people track monthly, but for me, that is just a little bit too long to see. Like, it's make one change to see if it improves things. You got to wait a whole month. Or if your income is going down, that like a lot of bad stuff can happen in a month, and you don't want to be reacting to issues too late. That's why we go weekly. But before I give you all these things, I want to tell you a quick story. In my academy, I interview some of the most successful members, and I share those interviews with the group where they go into a lot of detail about what makes a business successful. And one of the first people that I interviewed, he was a franchise owner. I think it was a massage envy. It was, his name's Bill, but he owned the second most successful massage franchise out of a nationwide franchise with hundreds and hundreds of locations in California. He went through all the details of all the things he tracks, and it was insane. It was very granular. He had a pulse on everything in that business. So he knew if things weren't being done, they needed to be improved, or if he needed to improve certain areas. There's no secret that his business was the second most highest earning business in the state of California in the massage industry. That goes to show you the importance of it. That's just one example. We do the same. It's very important. When we don't track and we say we're too busy not to track, things go bad. When we track, things go good, because we can see in black and white, and you'll see why. So first of all, with acquisition, we want to have a few columns under acquisition. So you want to track leads in for the week. Okay. And by the way, you just literally sit down once a week and you just look at the last 7 days and you write down these figures. So amount of leads that came in, that's one thing. Now, you can break this down really quickly into where the leads came from if you have multiple marketing sources. So you could be doing social media ads. You could be doing, you could have focusing on your SEO or your website or your Google business profile or your referrals. You can track these granularly into this, but we don't, because we never have an issue with getting leads in because we have ads in multiple marketing channels. But if you wanted to see exactly which strategies worked best, you could track exactly where the leads were coming from, so you could focus on that specific marketing method more. I just want to take a second to ask you for a small favor. If you're finding this video helpful, if you could just tap the like button underneath it, I'd be really grateful. That will tell the YouTube algorithm to share this video with more massage therapists around the world. And hopefully that will help them all earn more income, which is what they deserve. Thanks for helping. You can also track lead cost as well if you're doing ads, but we don't, because all our leads are highly profitable. It's cheap to advertise on social media. So first of all, we have leads in for the week. Then we want to track how many of those leads turned into conversations. So how many times basically a lead is someone contacts your business, or they put their name, email address, and phone number into a form or respond to an ad. Now, the next thing you have to do is follow up with that lead, because a lot of the times they are going to put their details into a form on your website, or they're going to fill out a form on your social media ad. Then you have to follow up with them, because sometimes they're not going to book in on their own. You need to follow up with them. So we want to know how many leads came in and the percentage and the rate of follow-up, because we want to set a KPI, like a target for yourself or your team, that you need to get at least 70 or 80% of the leads that had a conversation. You made contact with them. So that's going to help you improve your contact strategies, like how often you follow up with someone, the scripts you use to follow up with them, how soon you follow up with them. And that's going to highlight problems in your follow-up sequence if that starts to drop down. You want to set KPIs for that, because that's really the start of the funnel, right? So if you get the same amount of leads every week in for your marketing, but your follow-up drops off, your bookings drop off for the week, and you can trace it back to, okay, we got a certain amount of leads in, but we didn't make contact with nearly as many this week. What happened? And then you go back through the follow-up and you can say, oh, I didn't contact people very often this week. I just didn't get around to it. And you're like, okay, we need to focus on that. Okay, so that's why we track that stuff. Next is bookings. So you want to go leads, conversations had, and how many people booked in. And that's all focusing on your follow-up. Okay, so your marketing efforts and then your follow-up efforts. It's two different things. Then we want to focus on look at no-shows. Okay, that's another column. No-shows or late cancellations. You can have two separate columns. And the reason we want to track these things is if our no-show rate is high, and this was happening for us for a while, so we track no-show rate. What can we improve? Okay, we can improve maybe why don't people no-show? Why do people no-show? So maybe people forget about the appointment. Maybe we don't remind them. Maybe they didn't know how to get to us and they get lost. And you start thinking, how can we improve the no-show rate? And then you put a big focus on that for a month, and you implement all these systems to get people to show up and decrease no-shows. And then you see that number improving over time, and you've slowly improved a big part of your business, because every one of these things is a lever. So if you get 10 new people in a week to your business and you drop your no-show rate in half, that is going to make an effect on how many bookings you have and then your income. All these things make a big difference. And same with late cancellations. Okay, so if you have a lot of late cancellations, you want to set up strategies to improve that. So those are the things. Just really quickly, you want to have an acquisition section in your spreadsheet. You want to track leads in every week. You want to track how many conversations you made, so contact with the leads. You want to check how many of those turned into bookings, and then no-shows and late cancellations. Okay, let's move on to the next step is retention, okay? Because once we get people in, we have marketing, we set the marketing up, we get leads in, we get good at contacting them, less people no-show, and then you have the session, and then you look at your rebooking rate. We track new client rebooking rate and then retention rate on existing clients. That's just, we use the software that we use, Timely, allows us to do that. And we have KPIs for our team where it's minimum 60% on new clients who come in through a special offer. Some therapists do a lot higher than that, but that's the bare minimum for where we aim for. Rebooking rates, obviously, you know why that's important. You need to track that to see how you can improve your session, your consultation, your rebooking script after it, the whole thing, right? Because if you start to see your rebooking rate drop, you can go back and refocus on all these things. Maybe you're not following your rebooking framework well enough. Maybe you need to improve certain things, your consultation. But that's the next thing is rebooking rate. Focus on retention, track that every week. The next and the final thing, main thing we track is finances. So we look at total appointments first. So this actually is tied into your rebooking rate. So you can put total appointments in one column and then how many rebookings after that. And then you have the rebooking percentage after that. And then another important thing to track in the next section is upgrades and add-ons. So upgrades and add-ons are very important. I always talk about this to my academy members. If you're doing 20 massages a week and you don't upgrade or sell add-ons to anyone, then you're going to make, just for example, you charge $100 an hour, you can make $2,000 a week. Whereas if you actually put a big focus on upgrades, service upgrades, and add-ons, you can literally, a lot of the time, you don't even have to do any more work, any more physical work with these upgrades and add-ons. You get 6 upgrades worth $20 each. That's $120 for no extra work, basically. And that's in a year, that is $5,000, $6,000. You do want to track your upgrades and add-ons because you can either work less sessions and earn the same amount, or you can work the same amount and earn more. That's really important for a business. Next is products sold. So retail products sold. Exact same thing. You want to track that every week. If you have a team, you want to set KPIs for all these things too, by the way. The next is value per appointment, okay? Because I'll tell you an example. Like when we started our massage business, we were just focused on basic massages. We gave very cheap massages when we started in the industry, something like $75 or something. Now we're up to $105, but our average appointment value has gone from something like $70 or $65 because we did new client special offers as well, where we have discounts for that. So that brought our average appointment value down to probably $70. Our average appointment value last week was $150. We do way less appointments now, we make way more in the business because over the years we have focused on ways to improve average appointment value through a variety of methods. We've put our prices up, we have focused on upgrades and add-ons, we've focused on product sales, we've focused on adding in new services that cost more, that we can charge more for, high value services. That is where we focus those things. And imagine if you, from where you are now, you're tracking this and you're improving it. Imagine if you could add an average of $30 per session that a client pays you. In a year, you focus on all those things that I said. And in a year, you increase it by $30, so 30%. You make 30% more, but it gets better than that. You don't just make 30% more revenue. What you keep and what you save is much higher than 30% because all of your overheads and costs that are associated with your living expenses and your business expenses, that is going to be covered by the same amount of money. And then the rest of the money you save, you could triple, quadruple the amount you save actually in the bank every week just by focusing on that. And you won't know how to focus on that unless you track it. So that's very important. Next thing is costs. You want to check your overall weekly costs and then your revenue and then your profit and your total bank balance. Really, at the end of the day, your total bank balance minus any debt, okay, credit cards and stuff, that is the final indicator of how your business is going. If you're not tracking that and you don't realize that you're losing money every week, it could be too late until you're like really low on money and you're like, oh, I'm losing money. Why? And you won't know why because you haven't seen which of these metrics has been trending in the wrong direction. It could be that your costs have increased. It could be that your total leads in has decreased. It could be that your follow-up has gone bad. It could be that your rebooking rate has gone bad. You won't know why your business is failing or what you need to do to improve it unless you track it every week. But hopefully I explained all this like in a clear manner of why it's so important. I know I went through a lot, but it really only takes 10, 15 minutes a week to just get these numbers and have a look at them and see which ones are tracking in the wrong direction and where you need to work on. But I guarantee you it's the best 15 minutes you can spend in your business. Guarantee it. It's really easy. Just get the spreadsheet, track it every week, look at the numbers. I guarantee it will improve your business. Do it for a few months. Come back to me and comment on this video. Tell me it's not the best thing you've ever done for your business. If you want more information like this on running businesses and stuff like that, just let me know in the comments. Or if you want any other videos, apart from that, if you like this kind of content and you want to see anything else, let me know. And check out my channel for heaps of other content like this on running and growing your massage business. All right, have a great day and I'll talk to you soon.